All right, folks, it's a grand finals. It's a best of 5, and we told them they had. I told them they had to reveal their race. So looks like they both told the truth. They both told the truth. But of course, it's Zanster who got his main race. These players both play Zerg as their main. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom left side of Dusk Towers, it's going to be the purple Protoss. Invasion Gaming's Lambo. And his opponent in the upper right, he's blue, he's Zerg, it's Zanster. Now, we just learned how good Zanster's off race is, by the way. So I was gonna say, like, even if he got his off race as like the bad luck of the draw, would that have even been that big of a deal? But yeah, you see the rip coming from Lambo. I'm not gonna count him out. After watching Zanster just defeat Serral off race versus main race, I'm of the opinion anything can happen between two good players. And frankly, Lambo is a very good player. One of the things I've actually really enjoyed about getting to know him a little bit more, we're not exactly BFFs, I'm not going to pretend like we are, but one of the things I've really liked as we've cast him more and as I've spoken with him here and there, he's a really smart freaking guy. I'm not saying he's like a genius or nothing, don't get me wrong, but he's very smart at StarCraft 2, and I think he'll know what to do despite the fact that he might be at this quote-unquote racial disadvantage. Move that over there. Now for Zanster's sake, I am wondering if he'll be willing to go for this early. The thing that I can say about Zanster that we can't say so much about Serral is we've actually seen Zanster pull off a lot more all-ins and things we've cast of him. Whether it's dream hacks from HOTS or whether it's games from... Okay, I'll get to that in a second, excuse me. Or whether it's games from more recent days, this is a guy who's willing to Roach Ravager all in. But it's a question of, like, will he actually do that? Donation of, okay, $2 coming from 222. Says, can Winter cast the finals with you? He said he's interested in doing it. I'll poke him after and see what's going on, but we're already in game number 1, and I can't. No, pause, restart, guys. Gotta get this with her. Winter, of course, was casting the other matches. I hope you guys enjoyed that. He was streaming for quite a bit of time as well after losing that first round today. Really glad he came out to play, though. I thought that was pretty cool. Because Winter, okay, sure, he's got some notoriety to his name, but he is a pretty good random player. Another guy missing from the tournament today was Crank. I was actually really hoping and expecting to see Crank play today as well. Not the end of the world, though, and hopefully this will not be the very last random tournament we ever host, but I'm glad to see you guys had some fun with it in chat, and I'm really glad to see how some of the players have enjoyed it. But seriously, one of the things that was talked a lot about in the lobby for this, actually, that's worth talking about here. Ooh, triplings. These guys were joking around, like, okay, it's only $2 difference. It's a $2 match. Who the fuck cares about $2? But then they both immediately, like as if they had rehearsed it, started, like, talking about glory and, like, all caps lock. We play this match for glory. So I got into it. I was like, for honor and glory. But I said it before, and I just really want to reiterate it because I know there were some people who doubted this in the Reddit thread earlier today, and there's some folks who just are the super casual StarCraft fans and might have the same opinion, but a lot of these guys that we constantly interact with in tournaments and have play in our stuff or host for show matches, they're all very competitive by nature, and that's why we pick them over and over and over again. These are guys who'll play for $5. These are guys who'll play for $5,000. They're here to play, and they want to win. But yeah. $2, the difference of first and second place here. That's gonna be so dumb to pay out too, because PayPal's gonna, I still think, take the same cut either way. This doesn't make a difference to me. I just have to pay them out at the end of the day. Now, double Stargate's coming to the back of the base here for Lambo. I don't believe Zanster's seen this, but I also don't want to break the graphs yet to take a look. In fact, I'm pretty sure he hasn't seen it. The Overlord cast right above it. So the Lings dance around the third base, and there are overcharges now to make sure that this doesn't go down too quickly. Gets us around on the Robo. That would be a little bit annoying for that to go down so quickly, but yeah, he's going to protect it. We got some sentries out now too, so running past this onto the ramp is less likely. And as time goes on, this gets maybe a little bit better for Lambo. One of the things that's going to be very important for Lambo that we kind of saw a little bit with Zanster in that last game, Serral had lurkers, he had mutals, he had this really cool composition and this great positioning, and he managed to lose the game off the back end of it. Mostly because he got out of position, and perhaps you could even argue a little bit greedy. But one of the big things was he had this, like, Zanster just had so many friggin' Immortals. And Immortals look so stupid because they can be so good. it's funny because you'll watch one set of ZVPs where the Protoss looks underpowered as hell. You're like, man, you need to buff Immortals. They need to like deal more damage to Lurkers or something. Then you'll watch another one with like the one we just saw, or with Little Bao or anyone else, and it's just like, okay, maybe Immortals are pretty good. You just have to have enough of them. I like the Phoenix investment this time, though. Of course, it's not this time. It's the first time we're seeing Lambo play at all today. But I like the Phoenix investment just in general. Having about 4 or 5, it's not going to kill a lot of Queens necessarily, and it's not going to tear down every Overlord, but it will give you a bit of map control. Sees the 4th. Heads up to the main. More Phoenix on the way. Of course, he's going for the Twilight Council. I'm actually wondering if he'll get Blink or Charge right off the bat. If it's Charged, then we might actually see a little bit of War Prism harass, which could be cool, but Blink, very important for fighting against Roaches and Hydras, or Hydras and Lings, or as we saw that last game, it's what took him so long to actually win the game, because he did not have Blink. Queen gets almost picked off. 9 health, barely lives to see another day. Of course, one of the Phoenix goes down for that. Kind of sucks. Because for Lambo, there's the investment in the Immortals right now, which is great. However, the Phoenix, they're going to be this nice element of crowd control later on, and certainly can add a lot of damage to a fight when fighting Hydras, given the positioning is good. But I think the same similarity from last PvZ we just cast is that if you don't have to have necessarily, oh god, this is gonna sound so bad the way I'm phrasing this, but I'm too tired to care. You don't have to have skill so long as you have enough units. And again, I really want to stress, like, Immortals can sometimes just be these A-movie powerhouses. Protoss in general can be in some situations. Not this situation though. Xanaster's hitting at a timing where Lambo doesn't have a lot of supply to work with. And while he's producing 2 Immortals at a time, he's not quite at that sweet number to stop this army dead in its tracks. The Roaches will go down here pretty quickly, so will the Lings, but the Hydras, can they cause enough damage before their fodder disappears? Hydras have some pretty good DPS, and some of the Immortals going down very quickly. Guardian Shield helping out a little bit on the back end, but the Robos are exposed, and this does force a fight out of Lambo. You can't just back away and hope that Xanster doesn't stay. The Forge almost going down. Actually, the Forge going down would deny +1, and that would be a huge, huge pick-off, but he's not going to get it. Instead, he's going to get the Robo. He's going to get an Immortal to go with that Robo. He's going to get the second Robo, and this is actually getting pretty bad for Lambo. Had Lambo been left alone for another 2 rounds of Immortal production, or got a single Disruptor out or something, this may have looked very different, but the entire army dissipates. 92 supply over 10, and that rip, I'm pretty sure game number 1. How about you at least try some macro? A little bit of BM. Ouch. Xanster does take map 1 here in this best of 5 finals.